Ethiopia was rising. Now. It chose the wrong ally. Ethiopia was rising. Factories were working. Trains were moving. Planes were flying. Hope was real. Then Ethiopia shook hands with the wrong power. And history tells us, this is how nations lose control quietly. Ethiopia chose to build. For decades, Ethiopia survived. Then it decided to build. Not speeches. Not aid slogans. Infrastructure. Roads through mountains. Railways across dry land. Factories where there was dust. This was not charity. This was planning. China's role. China entered Ethiopia not with soldiers, but with concrete, steel, and machines. Railways were built, most importantly, the Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway, cutting days of transport into hours. Ethiopia finally had reliable access to ports. Ring roads expanded cities. Highways connected farms to markets. Logistics became possible. This was the skeleton of growth. Without transport, factories die. Without logistics, exports fail. China focused on function, not control. Industrial parks. With roads and rail in place, Ethiopia moved to the next step. Industrial parks. Hawassa. Bole Lamy. Dire Dawa. China helped develop these zones, not just buildings, but systems. Textiles. Light manufacturing. Export production. Young Ethiopians gained skills. Women gained income. Families gained stability. Factories reduce conflict because hunger disappears first. But these parks are fragile. If elites privatize them in the name of foreign investment, wages collapse, contracts vanish, and profits escape the country. What was built to lift people becomes a pressure machine. Industrialization must serve citizens, or it becomes exploitation. Power came next. Factories need electricity. China-backed projects supported hydropower, transmission lines, and energy infrastructure tied to industrial zones. Then Ethiopia went further. The dam that changed Ethiopia's mindset. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam was not just energy. It was psychological liberation. A country once defined by famine chose power. People invested. The poor believed. The nation stood together. Electricity stayed on. Factories expanded. Cities breathed. Energy means independence. Ethiopian Airlines. Ethiopian Airlines became Africa's strongest carrier. Not by selling itself. Not by elite capture. But by discipline, training, and public control. It connected Africa to itself. Created high-skill jobs. Earned global respect. Airlines are sovereignty in motion. If Ethiopian Airlines ever falls into elite or foreign hands under the excuse of modernization, Ethiopia loses control of its skies, and no nation survives that. Ethiopia's location. Ethiopia is landlocked, but strategically dangerous. Near the Red Sea. Near global shipping routes. Near trade choke points. Railways to ports. Dry ports. Trade corridors. Who controls access controls food prices, fuel costs, and survival. This is why predators arrived. Two types of partners. History is clear. When a country rises, two visitors come. Builders. Controllers. China built infrastructure. Others came for leverage. And among them, the most dangerous was the UAE. The UAE pattern. Let us speak plainly. Where the UAE embeds deeply, nations fracture. Sudan, militias, gold, civil war. Somalia, ports, division, instability. Yemen, proxy war, starvation, destruction. This is not accident. This is strategy. The Red Sea obsession and the Abraham Accords. The Red Sea is power. The UAE wants control, aligned with Israel through the Abraham Accords. Ports. Seas. Supply routes. Sudan paid the price. Yemen was shattered. Somalia remains unstable. Now Ethiopia is being pulled closer. The deal that changed everything. Ethiopia signed a defense deal with the UAE. Officials spoke of security. But security for whom? Ethiopia's real need is peace, growth, and neutrality. The UAE brings entanglement, not stability. Once inside, it captures elites, assets, and policy. How nations are captured without war. The method is simple. Influence elites. Access strategic assets. Control trade routes. Militarize politics. Factories slow. Airlines weaken. Corridors become weapons. No invasion needed. Ordinary Ethiopians feel the cost first. In Addis, people whisper. If ports close. If jobs disappear. If neighbors turn hostile. Growth dies quietly before collapse arrives loudly. No dam can power instability. Final warning. Ethiopia's rise was real. Built with infrastructure. Powered by energy. Protected by public control. China helped build the backbone. The UAE threatens to fracture it. Industrial parks, airlines, and trade routes are public lifelines. If elites sell them in the name of investment, people will suffer, always. Closing call to action. Africa does not need more destroyed nations. It needs builders, not manipulators. Ethiopia must choose carefully. Before it becomes another Red Sea casualty.